Welcome to my horribly outdated kitchen in Montana. My name's Caleb Plumley of Caleb Plumley Outdoors, and as you probably saw in that previous scene, it is cold outside. That says -1 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is dropping right now. We are on our way down to -21 to -28 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. It is also windy, so it is cold out there. It is December 21st, 2022 in Missoula, Montana, if you want to look up the actual weather record there. What I'm going to do tonight is spend the night out in my truck camper, experiencing this for you all so you know how it goes in a build such as mine. I'm going to keep it pretty minimal. I'm going to see if I can do this in comfort without going to extreme. Basically, I want to see if I can sleep out there like normal. I'm going to take this with me. This has indoor and outdoor temperature. I'll leave the outdoor temperature monitor right beside the camper all night. This records highs and lows, so we should be able to know what I endured out there, and I'll give you my experience. I'll tell you what it was like. Now, first things first, it is December 21st, and my girlfriend and I are going to celebrate Christmas together tonight, so I do have some obligations. It's going to be colder when I get back. It's -1 now, as you saw. It'll be colder. I'll give you an update, and before I crawl into the bed for the night, I'll let you know how it's going. Okay, I'm in. It is... what is it? It's 10:13 p.m., so it's later than what I expected. Plans kind of changed throughout the night, but at least I'm out here now. It is pretty cold outside right now. It is -6, which isn't as cold as what I had expected. And inside here right now, it looks like 55 degrees, 47 degrees according to the thermostat. So it's still pretty chilly in here. It's been warming up for a while. Honestly, it's been warming up for quite a while. I probably started the heater almost an hour ago. But what I haven't done yet is add the window covers, so I'll put those on in just a second, and my body heat hasn't been added. We'll go over what I'm wearing in just a minute. Let me put the window covers on so we can start warming this thing up. We got the window covers up. That only took, what did it say, about 2 minutes to get those out, get them up. And so, yeah, these are just the standard Reflectix material. They actually have black fabric sewn to the outside and then Velcro around the outside so that it has blackout effect on the outside of the vehicle, so it's not shiny and looks like we're doing something shady in here. It's just blackout. And the Velcros to the carpet on the inside of the truck topper. So believe it or not, despite these having very little R value, they do help quite a bit. It prevents a little bit of drafts from blowing on you. It does reflect some heat back into the place, and it keeps any condensation on the windows, which there will be from my breath in here. Keeps it from dripping on you in the middle of the night, so it's pretty nice. It does make it pretty shiny in here as well. It blocks the light from going outside. I would film it, but it's -6 degrees. But it also helps the light inside kind of be more intense. It's probably really dark on this video, but in here I can see fairly well. It's bright enough to work. I'm gonna throw some sheets on here now. All right, the bed is made. Let's go over what I've got in here right now. I did come out with my hat on, my gloves on, and a puffy jacket, just because it is -6 degrees outside, and it was awful coming out from the house just out here. I'm sitting in my driveway right now. I'm probably 5 yards from my house at most. On the bed, I have just regular standard sheets. That's just a top sheet for the bed, a fitted sheet for the mattress, I guess. Standard sheet, and then just a regular comforter. This is nothing special, not even down. And brought a kind of an emergency blanket. This is just an army blanket. And then what I'm wearing, I have fuzzy socks on. These are just wool fuzzy socks that I would use for hunting or anything else, boot socks if you will. Light sweatpants. These are sweatpants that you might use for working out when it's a little cool outside. And then let me show you here, take my jacket off. There we go, still getting used to the camera gear. And I have a long sleeve shirt on. This is just a regular long sleeve t-shirt. It's kind of fuzzy on the inside, is what I wear when it's kind of cool outside on a hike. And underneath there I do have just a standard, this is a Under Armour lightweight t-shirt, the long sleeve shirt over top, just so I do have a layer, because I'm afraid if I do get too warm, I'll want to take this off. And yes, I am worried that I might get too warm in the middle of the night, because this thing's pretty toasty. In fact, I feel pretty warm right now. What does this say it is? But it's 54 degrees in here right now. It says it's -1 outside. That's because I had the temperature sensor from the inside. I threw it outside just a few minutes ago before I hopped in here, and it hasn't dropped all the way. It's closer to -6. It'll get there in a few minutes. I'll show you. That's pretty much it. Brought some water with me. I brought my phone for filming and for an alarm in the morning. I do have to wake up. And charger. I think the plan is just crawl into bed and head to sleep. It is supposed to get down to -20, but not until early morning now. So that's about 7 a.m. I'm going to try to sleep out here till, don't tell my boss, about 8 a.m. I think that will probably get me through the night to say I've endured the coldest temperatures of the night, and see what -15, -20, negative whatever it gets really is inside this camper. Now, I haven't done anything else to this camper since the last time you've seen it, really. This is the only installation I have in here, the Reflectex setup, and the only heat source I have. See if I can show this. Heat source is the Propex propane heater. There's the tank, and that is the carbon monoxide and propane gas detector. So yes, I did listen to you all. That is a RV safe propane and carbon monoxide detector. It should detect either one. And you can see my settings here. It says it's 60 degrees right now. Temperature is set at 70, so we're almost there. And here's the temperature on our meters here. You can see it says 56 degrees on this. That says we're at 60, so somewhere close in there. And the temperature's still dropping outside, -3. That's going to get down to -6. The sensor is sitting just outside this right here. There's no insulation on it, so that's going to give us the real temperature. And this will record the lowest temperature that we get to tonight, so we'll know what I've actually endured out here. I want this to be a fair test of this camping setup. That's why I'm in light clothes. I'm not going to put any additional clothes on. I don't have any additional clothes to put on. I didn't bring them out here with me. If it does get dangerous, if it does get too cold, I can just go inside. But the goal is to sleep out here in this. Standard bedding, standard clothes, see how it does, because I want to see what it's like this. And honestly, at the moment, based on what I'm feeling in here, I think it's going to be alright. I'm going to go ahead and get snuggled in. We'll watch that temperature, see how it goes. Taking off the hat. Honestly, a little bit warm for the hat, believe it or not. Okay, one more adjustment. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about this too much. I figured I better set up a view where we can see the temperature, and maybe we can see over here with the lights when the heater kicks on and off, if it even kicks off all night. And we'll be able to see me sleeping as well, which is kind of creepy. See how restful I am or restless I am, and we can see temperature. One more thing to note. I weighed this tank before I came in here. It was exactly at 13 pounds when I weighed it. We can weigh it after this night, and we'll know how much propane I burned as well, at least approximately. There we go. I'm going to leave it like this. Talk to you in the morning.
Hey, future me from the editing room here. I wanted to show the full time lapse of my night in the camper so that you could see I did not go inside, and also that I was pretty comfortable throughout the night. If you watch closely, I do take off my long sleeve shirt at one point and turn down the thermostat when I got too warm. I woke up a couple other times, but never because it was too cold. If you watch the red and green light on the right hand side, when they turn off, the heater's not running. Though you can see that they're on a lot more than they were off, it basically ran all night. The weather forecast did say -30 degrees Fahrenheit, but according to the National Weather Service and my phone apps, we only got down to -17. Anyway about it, I'm extremely thrilled with the results of this night. This test shows me I can camp in extreme truck camping weather. I'm confident down to -25 degrees Fahrenheit, and if I throw on some additional clothes, I don't think -30 degrees is a stretch of my imagination at all. Montana and other places do get colder than that. We could see -40 to -50 degree Fahrenheit temperatures. Though, truck camping in that does not sound fun at all to me for lots of reasons. and I wouldn't recommend that anybody go truck camping in those conditions. Those conditions can be life-threatening if anything goes wrong and you're stranded without heat. Still, I believe this test represents colder temperatures than most truck campers will see, or at least the coldest that you will see. I also want to apologize for the light fading during this time lapse. If you look very closely though, you can see the time progress, and you can watch the outdoor temperatures drop to those levels that I described. If you look even more carefully, you can see the temperature inside the camper stays in the mid 60s, which I think is extremely comfortable. Okay, enough of that, back to the main video. -13. Not quite as cold as I thought I was going to get last night. Not too bad. It is morning, it's 8 o'clock. My lamp started fading last night, so I kind of lost light on me. Nothing went wrong whatsoever. You see what I slept in? Nothing's really changed since last night. It wasn't bad. According to my phone, it got down to -17. We'll see how cold it got according to the actual temperature monitor that was sitting here the whole time. -13 is what I saw just a minute ago. But it stayed in the 60s in here. So I could actually put my hand down here near the floor and it feels cool. And then raise my hand up and it feels comfortable. And raise it up and it feels warm. So there is a big temperature gradient. The level that I'm sleeping at stayed nice and toasty. I actually ended up taking my long sleeve shirt off because it was a little bit too warm. Got myself a little bit more awake here. I've got to get inside and get to work, but as a summary, last night, not bad at all. I did wake up a few more times than I usually would. I had this little lamp going all night. I don't sleep well with lights on, and I think that was a decent portion of it, but otherwise, I slept really comfy. I opened this window so I could have more light for this little video, and you can see, hopefully, I can draw in the frost on there. It gets very cold, so having these Reflectix window shades that I still have up on the rest of the windows is the way to go. Without that, it would have been very cold in here. In fact, the second I took it down, the temperature started dropping, and now I'm starting to get goosebumps. And the only thing I've changed was taking this one window shade off. The rest of them are still up. So these are definitely the way to go. Otherwise, it stayed toasty in here. Now, somebody did suggest before that I get a fan. Here's the deal. This heater is drawing air in from here and is pumping it out there. So it's actually taking the cold air and pumping it back up. It is circulating some air. The thing is, if you put a fan in here, I'm going to take all this cold air and I'm going to mix it with the warm air. And this heater has a maximum output, and it pretty much ran all night. Mixing that and making the whole area in here the same temperature might sound like a good idea, but in reality, well, it's going to get averaged out. And this warm air up here where I sleep is going to get mixed with cold air and get a little cooler. Yeah, I don't think the fan is what I personally want. You can experiment with it on your own, but I like the idea of a nice warm area up here, and I don't mind it being so cool down here. I'm going to call this a success. I can sleep out here in, oh, now it's -14 degrees. And pretty comfy. Not bad. Uncomfy thing is going to be getting out of this, so let me get myself bundled up real quick and we'll hop out. Here's where my temperature monitor was set up all night. Yeah, it's cold out here, obviously. -14 in there. Nice and toasty for a night, so. That's a little later in the day now, but I wanted to follow up. It is a nice and warm -2 now, and I did weigh this tank. I took it inside. Sorry I didn't film it. It weighed 13 pounds exactly whenever I filled it, and now this tank is down to 10.2 pounds, which means I had burned 2.8 pounds of propane last night, which is a lot. This is only a 5-pound tank, so you're definitely not getting, I wouldn't plan on getting 2 nights out of this in those cold of temperatures, but it will get me through a night, and that's good to know. I can always add a bigger tank or bring multiple tanks or whatever I need. So nice and comfy night out there. I would definitely do it again. Now I do have a couple recommendations. First one, where this folds up against the truck bed when it's up, definitely recommend tucking both the sheet and the comforter between
the mattress and the truck bed, as well as over on the side between the truck bed and the mattress. I kept my blankets nice and tucked in there, so that way there was no chance that I was going to get my body up against the cold truck. I also had blanket buffer in between. Now the side of the truck does get very cold, but with the buffer, I didn't notice it at all. My feet stayed warm, my head stayed warm. There's obviously frost on the windows, but it didn't touch me. Definitely also these carpeted boards. So this is the board that I can raise up and put up here so I can expand the bed into a two-person one. That carpet down there and the wood buffer between me and the truck bed keeps my feet warm. I wouldn't want to stand on the bed while it was that cold. I'm sure there'd be frost on it. I think I could have slept two people out here just fine too. Extra body heat would have only helped, and the air would have been pulled from the cold air below again, circulated up top nice and warm, and you'd be separated from it entirely. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. I got more videos coming your way, so thanks.